Hello and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the DigitalBlackmagic channel. This is the last but one video about the Asus 52J. We cloned the hard drive. What's left to do is putting the hard drive into the frame, which will happen now, and then of course in the final episode installing Windows 10. Let's go along with the hardware change. Have fun with the video. I flipped the laptop over. First things first, I need to remove the battery. The battery is sitting on the far end of the laptop. Next up will be the removal of the lid, which protects the interior of the laptop. In order to do so, you need to remove several screws, which I'm going to point out now, and then carefully try to open the lid. I have a magnetic ball to stack the screws up in order not to lose them. The good news is that all screws of this lid are alike, so I can put them back in any order, which is nice to know because this is not the norm. All the screws are gone now, but the lid is still tightly on the machine, so I need to find a spot to open it using my screwdriver tip in a very careful manner. The upper corner next to the battery bay was the spot where I could finally open the lid without destroying it. I repeat, I did not destroy this lid. This took a while, that's why it's not on tape. Had I risked damage to the machine, I could have opened it in a very unprofessional and fast way by using force. With the lid open and removed, it is easy to see where the hard drive is. The hard drive is sitting in a caddy which is secured to the laptop body by 4 screws. Removing those screws will give you access to the hard drive, which of course then again sits secured by screws in its caddy. Without the locking screws, it's easy to slide the hard drive out. And now, as stated before, it's time to remove 4 other screws which lock the hard drive in the caddy. Next I want to check if the interface, which is serializer and power of serializer, is located in the same spot, because the SSD is a slim drive compared to the hard drive. The hard drive has 9.5 millimeters in height and the SSD has round about or less than 7. But due to the design of the laptop, the height of the hard drive doesn't matter, so I can proceed and lock the SSD back into the hard drive caddy. So that is what I'm going to do. I slide the SSD into the hard drive's caddy and then I screw it down so that it sits at the exact same spot as the hard drive sat before it. It's always a bit tricky to reassemble a laptop. Here you need to slide the caddy in with an angle and then it will slide into place at exact the same spot where it used to sit, but with an SSD rather than a hard drive in it now. So what's left to do is secure the caddy with the screws, which I then take back out of the magnetic bowl. Now is the time, once the screws are back in place, to start the machine for the first time. Because in this stage it's easy to undo the changes I did. Assembling the machine fully and then trying to find out what the issue is a bit of a pain and a drag, which I want to avoid here. With sufficient power and an open laptop of course, it is easy to push the power button and ba-bing, it works. And Windows starts as it should. That is exactly what I wanted to see. So what's left to do is to button the thing up by putting the back lid back to the system, and then we can call it a day, because the hard drive has been changed and swapped for an SSD for good now. Talking about the backlit, it's time to put it on. It's a bit tricky because it has these little hooks which slide into the case and gave me a hard time opening it. So what I do is I just try and do it backwards. So I put the lid down and slide it into position. The first attempt failed and the second, with a bit more caution, is kind of smooth. So again, we need to screw the lid into place and we're done with the hard disk swap. Obviously, the SSD is part of the laptop now. So mission accomplished? Not yet. We need to install Windows 10. Otherwise, it would have been just a nice practice run. This will be the topic of the final video, which follows soon. Have a nice day and stay tuned for more. Goodbye.